today is a peak pose class working towards astavakrasana, 8 angle. 8 angle is a fun, pretzel-y arm balance. So we'll work on arm strength, core strength, hamstring length, hip flexibility, lots of fun stuff today. Let's start out in a comfortable seated position. You could do sukhasana, maybe with your feet in front of each other, one foot in front of the other, or you could cross at the shins and have your feet support your shins, whichever feels best for you. And if you'd like, you can certainly sit on a block, especially if you find that your tailbone kind of rolls under. Go ahead and sit up on a block. Find a place where your hands can rest along your thighs, where your shoulder blades are down your back. Maybe even roll your shoulders up, back, and down a few times to settle them down into place. Bring your shoulders over your hips. Draw your chin gently back towards your face slightly to lengthen the back of your neck and bring it in line with the rest of your spine. And then go ahead and close your eyes. Start to notice your breath. Deepen your inhale and lengthen your exhale. Arm balances are a really fun way to play with and increase our strength in our yoga practice, but they're not a required part of our yoga practice. So whether this is the first time or the 1000th time that you're working on astavakrasana today, please try to go into the practice without any expectations. And throughout the practice, if frustrations arise, recognize them and then set them aside, knowing that when or if you achieve the pose is not your yoga practice. The practice is in the practice. Go ahead and open your eyes. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, turn to your right, left hand on your right knee, right hand behind. Inhale for length. Exhale, gentle twist to your right. On every inhale, lengthen. And on every exhale, soften and see if you can deepen your twist just a little bit. Inhale back to center, arms up. Exhale, twist to your left, right hand on your left knee, left hand behind. Inhale for length. Exhale to twist. Lengthen on your inhale. Deepen the twist on your exhale. Inhale back to center, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Come on to hands and knees, tabletop. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, toes can be tucked or untucked. Inhale, draw your chest forward, tip your tailbone to the sky, cow belly. Exhale, tuck your tailbone under, round your upper back, cat. Inhale forward with your chest. Exhale, round your upper back. One more time. Inhale, chest forward, tailbone up. Exhale, Round your upper back, tuck your tailbone. Inhale, find a neutral spine. Draw your low ribs in and down. Draw the tips of your shoulder blades slightly towards each other. And find that place where your neck is in line with the rest of your spine. Press firmly down through your toes and float your knees just an inch or two off the ground, floating tabletop. Exhale, push your hips back towards your heels and open your knees wide. Inhale, back to floating tabletop. Exhale, hips back, knees wide. Inhale, floating tabletop. Exhale, back. Final inhale to floating tabletop. And then exhale to downward facing dog. You can move around however you'd like to in this first downward facing dog of our practice. Walk your dog out, maybe do some spinal rolls, whatever feels good for your body right now. And then find some stillness. Since we're doing an arm balance today, we want to pay close attention to what our hands are doing to help bear our weight so that we're not collapsing through the wrists but are able to bear the weight in our shoulders. So in your down dog, notice the knuckles at the base of your fingers, especially the knuckle at the base of your pointer finger. Press firmly down through those knuckles at the bases of your fingers, as well as through the fingertips. Down into the mat, and then press firmly back with your shoulders. Inhale, slowly walk your feet forward. Hold on to opposite elbows. Find ragdoll. Knees can be soft, bent as deeply as you need, and you can sway from side to side if that feels good for you. Release your elbows, bend your knees deeper, and slowly roll all the way up to standing. Head comes up last. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down a couple times. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, soft bend to your knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long flat back. Exhale, plant your hands and step back, finding high plank pose. Shoulders over wrists, up on your toes. Nice diagonal line from the top of your head down to your ankles. At this point, if you want to go ahead and put your knees down, you certainly may. Let's pay attention again to what our hands are doing. Press firmly down through those knuckles at the base of your fingers as well as through your fingertips. And energetically screw your hands so that the base of your wrists come in and your fingertips go out. Now everyone, if you haven't already, knees down. Not directly under you for tabletop, but so that you're still in a diagonal line. We're going to do 3 tricep push-ups. Maintain a neutral spine. Remember, for a neutral spine, we draw our low ribs in and down and the tips of our shoulder blades towards each other. Keep that engagement. Make sure the shoulder blades stay pulling gently towards each other rather than rounding forward and hiking up towards your ears. Continue to draw the low ribs in and down. Engage through the core to keep your hips up rather than letting them sink down. And maintain your neck in line with your spine. Here we go. Inhale, lower. You can go halfway like chaturanga. You can go lower like a push-up. Chest grazes the ground. Exhale, straight line push-up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, push-up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, push-up. And then push back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up, 3-leg downward facing dog. Pay attention to your hips. Keep your hips in line with one another. Draw the right hip down if it's lifted. And stretch up and back through your leg, not lifting the hip. Exhale, draw your right knee to your right elbow and hold. Inhale, right leg back up. Exhale, right knee to left elbow and hold. Inhale, back up. Right knee to your chest and hold. Look forward and step your right foot by your right thumb. Lower your left knee down and come on up into a low lunge. Bring your hips all the way back to begin. Set your hips are over your left knee. Tuck your tailbone under and feel the front of your left hip flexor begin to lengthen. Keep that length in your hip flexor. Keep the tuck of your tailbone as you slowly start to lower forward and down into your low lunge. Go only as far as you can, keeping that slight tuck of your tailbone. And then arms can lift up by your ears. Exhale. Shift your hips back, straighten your right leg, and find half split Ardha Hanumanasana. You may need to move your right leg forward slightly and come up onto your right heel. Draw your right hip back and down. And if it's comfortable, if you have the space and can keep your back long, you can fold over your right leg. From here, keep your hips as they are and just walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. This is a nice stretch for the IT band of your right leg. Continue to draw your right hip back and down to really feel the stretch through the IT band. Then walk your hands back forward. Fold one more time over your right leg. If you can maintain your straight back. Rebend your right knee, flatten your right foot, and come on down into lizard. Heel toe your right foot over to the side and walk your left knee back just a little bit. You can stay up on your hands. Walk your hands forward. Place your elbows on blocks or potentially forearms all the way to the mat. Whichever is most comfortable for you, where you can maintain a straight back, no cat back. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders and step back to high plank pose. Knees can be up or down. We're going to do one push-up. Maintain that straight line through your body all the way down and all the way back up. Inhale to lower. Exhale, push up. And then back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg for 3-leg downward facing dog. Keep your hips even. Lift up and back through your leg. Exhale, left knee to left elbow and hold. Inhale, left leg back up. Exhale, left knee to right elbow and hold. Inhale, back up. Exhale, left knee to chest and hold. Look forward and step your left foot by your left thumb. Lower your right knee down and come up into Vinyasa, low lunge. Bring your hips all the way back over your right knee. Tuck your tailbone and feel the length through your right hip flexor. Begin to lower down into your lunge, keeping your tailbone tucked, feeling that length through the hip flexor. Inhale, arms up by your ears. Make sure your low ribs are continuing to pull in and down and not flaring. Exhale, shift your hips back, straighten your left leg, and if you need to, slide your left heel forward a little bit so that your hips are over your right knee. Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. Inhale for length, exhale, fold, keep your back long, your chest broad. Keep your hips as they are and walk your hands over to the left side of the mat. Find the stretch through your left IT band. Continue to draw your left hip back and down. Walk your hands back forward. Inhale and exhale, fold over your left leg one more time. Rebend your left knee, flatten your left foot, and come into lizard. Walk your left foot towards the left edge of your mat. Walk your right knee back a little bit. Find your lizard pose. Option 1, on hands. Option 2, walk your hands forward. Bring your forearms down onto blocks. Option 3, forearms on the mat. Draw your left knee towards your left shoulder. Pull your heart, your chest, forward through your arms. back up onto your hands. Step back to high plank. Knees can be up or down for your push-up. Draw your low ribs in and down, shoulder blades towards each other. Engage your core so your hips don't drop. Inhale as you lower. Exhale, straight as a board, push up. And then back to downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot between your hands. Pivot your left heel down so that it's in line with the back of your mat or slightly turned in. And then rise up to Warrior Two. Draw your left hip back slightly, your right hip under. Open your right knee to the right and sit down deep into your Warrior Two. Arms in line with your shoulders. Make sure the back one isn't dropping too low. Strong, stable, and steady in your Warrior Two. Inhale, straighten your right leg and heel toe your left foot in once, maybe twice. Then tip your hips back towards the left and find your way down into Trikonasana, triangle pose. You may want to stop with your hand on your shin. Maybe you want to bring your hand down onto a block. Maybe you can bring your hand down to the outside of your right foot. Wherever you are, make sure that you're making a nice parallel line with the mat and not a rainbow arch. So long, straight side of your waist on both the left and right side. Tuck your tailbone slightly, broaden through your chest, and if it's available to you, you can look up at your left hand. Exhale, bring your left hand down, step your left foot out and forward just a little bit, turning the toes out at a 45-degree angle. Draw your right hip up and back, your left hip forward and down. Energetically pull your thighs towards each other. Press down firmly through your right big toe and the outside of your left foot. Pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. You can stay on blocks, up on your fingertips, or you can fold more over your front leg. Continue to keep your hips square, your chest broad. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Your left hand can stay under your left shoulder. Option 2, you can place it directly on top of your right foot, or you can bring it on the outside of your right foot. Inhale, open your chest to the right. Lead with your right shoulder, not with your right hand. Often we'll pull our hand back behind us in this revolved triangle rather than letting our chest open and lead with the shoulder. Continue to square your hips. Continue to find length through both sides of your body. You can stretch your arm out. Just make sure that it's in line with your shoulder. It may not go straight up, and that's okay. Exhale, bring your right hand back down. And then step both feet back to high plank pose. Find your strong, solid, high plank. Knees can be up or down. Inhale to lower. Exhale, push back up, one straight line. And then back to downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot between your hands. Pivot your right foot down so that it's in line with the back of your mat or slightly turned in. And then find your way up to warrior two. Draw your right hip back slightly and your left hip under. Open your left knee to the left and sit down deeply into your warrior two. Arms out from your shoulders, gaze over your left fingers. Energetically draw your legs towards each other like you're trying to stand up out of your warrior two without actually moving. Strong and steady. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Heel toe your right foot in, once, maybe twice. Shift your hips back to the right and find triangle pose. Left hand on your shin, left hand on a block, left hand on the outside of your left foot. Wherever you are, find length, find space out of your hips, drawing both sides of your waist straight and long. Tuck your tailbone under slightly, broaden through the chest. If it's available, look up towards your right hand. Bring your right hand down and step your right foot forward and out slightly, turning your toes to 45 degrees. Square your hips. Left hip pulls up and back, right hip forward and down. Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. You can stay up on blocks. Hands can be on the mat, or you can walk your hands either forward or underneath you, whichever you prefer, and fold deeper over your left leg. Push into the big toe mound of your left foot and the outside of your right foot. Energetically draw your legs towards each other. Left hip up and back, right hip forward and down. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. Let's find revolved triangle on this side. So option 1, right hand under right shoulder. Option 2, right hand on left foot. Option 3, right hand on the outside of your left foot. And turn your chest to the left. Move first from the shoulders. Keep your hips in line. Open your chest. From there, you can go ahead and lift your arm, but keep it in line with your shoulder. Again, don't just throw your arm back. In line with your shoulder. It's okay if it's not straight up. Be honest with where your twist is today. Continue to find length through both sides of your waist. Then bring your left hand back down and step your feet back to high plank pose. Knees up or down for your push-up. Inhale as you lower. Exhale, straight line, push up. And back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Walk, step, or jump to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, long flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, rise up, arms up. Exhale, hands by your side. Bring your feet together, big toes touch. Sit down into Utkatasana, chair pose. Hips go back. Bend deeply down into your knees. Arms up, out in front of you. Shift your weight into your right foot. Come up onto your left toes. Internally rotate your left leg so your knee points to the right, and cross your left leg over your right for Garudasana Eagle. Left toes can touch, they can stay hovering, or if your anatomy allows, they can wrap behind your right leg. Bring your arms out in front, right arm over left. Arms cross, hands can be at shoulders, backs of palms can touch, or inner palms can touch. Breathe. Find steadiness and strength. Uncross your legs, bring your knees next to each other, and then shift your hips back. Your left leg goes back, your torso leans forward. Coming through Warrior 3 as you step back into a high lunge. Feel free to place your hands down to steady yourself, or straighten out your legs and come up into your high lunge. Draw your low ribs in and down. Tuck your tailbone under slightly. Lift up out of your hips. Inhale for length. Exhale, open, twist to the right, left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale, shift forward slightly, and then cross your left elbow over your right leg. Place your right hand on top of your left and twist to your right. Sit down a little deeper into your right knee. Lift your back knee strongly. Press through your back toes. Turn your chest to the right. Then look down, and as many steps as it takes, bring your left foot forward to meet your right and sit into a revolved chair pose. Inhale, stand tall, arms up. Exhale, hands by your side. Feet together, big toes touch. Sit back, find Utkatasana chair pose. Sit deeply back into your hips. Lift your arms up and out. Shift your weight into your left foot. Come up onto your right toes. Internally rotate your right leg so your knee points to the left. Cross your right leg over. Option 1, right toes down. Option 2, right toes hover. Option 3, right toes wrap behind left leg. Bring your arms out in front. Cross your left arm over. Hands on shoulders. Backs of palms touch, or inner palms touch. Garudasana Eagle pose. Sit down deeply. Find strength and steadiness. Use your core to hold you in place. Unwrap your legs. Bring your right knee next to your left. Shift your right leg back, your torso forward. Move through Virabhadrasana 3 on your way to high lunge. Place your hands down. If you'd like to straighten out your feet and come on up, arms up. Tuck your tailbone. Draw your low ribs in and down. Inhale for length. Exhale, open twist to the left. Right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, reach forward. Cross your right arm over your left leg. Place your left hand on top of your right. Twist to your left. Sit down deeper into your left leg. Lift your right knee high. Press into your right toes. Press your left knee out. Don't let it collapse in. Open your chest to the left. Then look down, and as many steps as you need, walk your right foot to meet your left for revolved chair. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, soft bend to your knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to high plank pose. Knees can be up or down. We're going to do 3 push-ups. Maintain strength through your core. Keep your hips lifted. Keep your shoulders drawing towards each other. Keep a straight line through your body. Inhale to lower. Exhale, push up. Inhale to lower. Exhale, push up. Final one. Inhale, lower. Exhale, push up. And back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg for 3-leg downward facing dog. Exhale, draw your right knee to your right elbow and hold. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, draw your right knee to your left elbow and hold. Inhale up. Exhale, draw your right knee to the center and hold. Look forward and step your right foot by your right thumb. Lower your left knee down and revisit low lunge. Bring your hips back so they're over your left knee. Tuck your tailbone, find the length through your left hip flexor. Arms up and lower forward and down into your lunge, keeping your tailbone tucked under. Let's look for length through our hips, not a back bend today. Lower your hands to the inside of your right foot. You can put your right hand on a block, or you can leave it on the mat. Power up your left leg. Pivot your left heel down so that it's in line with the back of your mat or slightly turned in, and line up heel to heel or heel to arch. Keep bending strongly into your right leg. From here, open your chest to the left. Lift your left arm and come into Parsvakonasana, side angle from the ground up. Tuck your tailbone, broaden your chest. If it's available, look up to your left hand. Bring your left hand down. Walk your hands to the middle of your mat. Turn your right toes in. Bend into your left knee. You can stay here for your side lunge. Maybe bring your hands to your heart. Hold yourself up for a little bit of fire. Or you can sit down deeper into your left hip. Point your right toes up. And find Skandasana. Hands can stay down. Or for a little more challenge, you can bring your hands to your heart. Broaden your chest. And just breathe. Find some space. As we move back forward to the front of the mat, you can place your hands down, or if you want a little more of a balance challenge, keep your hands at heart center. Bend into your right knee. Turn your feet forward, and then lower your left knee down. Place both hands on the inside of your right foot. Heel toe your right foot to the right edge of your mat. Revisit lizard pose. You can do whatever variation of lizard feels best for you at this point in your practice. Remember to draw your right knee towards your right shoulder. Draw your chest and your heart forward through your arms. If your back knee is down, watch your left foot. It tends to just want to flop out to the side. Continue to power through your foot, even if you're not lifting your left knee. Bring both hands underneath your shoulders. Step back to high plank pose. Knees can be up or down, you guessed it. Another push-up. Inhale to lower. Exhale, push up. And back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg, 3-leg downward facing dog. Exhale, left knee to left elbow and hold. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left knee to right elbow and hold. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left knee to center and hold. Look forward and step your left foot by your left hand. Lower your right knee. Revisit your low lunge. Hips over your right knee. Tuck your tailbone under. Bring your arms by your ears. Lower your hips forward and down. Keeping your tailbone tucked under. Looking for length and space through the hips rather than a back bend. Place both hands down. You can put your left hand on a block or keep it on the mat. Power up your right leg. Pivot your right heel down. Line up heel to heel or heel to arch. Open your chest to the right. Find side angle from the ground up. Tuck your tailbone, broaden through the chest. Bend into your left knee. If it's available, look up at your right hand. Find length and space through both sides of your waist. Bring your right hand down. Walk your hands to the right side of your mat. Turn your left toes in. Bend into your right knee. Your choice of side lunge. You can stay up for more fire. You can come lower for more of a stretch. Hands can be at heart center in either option, or they can be down, whichever you prefer. As we move forward to the front of the mat, you can walk your hands forward, or you can keep your hands at heart center for more of a balanced challenge. Bend into your left knee, shift your hips forward, point your feet forward, lower your right knee down. Place your hands down, walk your left foot to the outside of the mat. Find your lizard. Remember, if your right knee is down, watch what your right foot is doing. Is your ankle just flopping off to the side? If so, find a little more power through your ankle, even if you're not lifting your knee. Don't go all floppy. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Step back to high plank. Knees up or down. This is the last push-up today, I promise. Inhale down. Exhale. Straight line, push up. And back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step or hop to seated. Bring your legs straight in front of you. Keep your left leg long. Bring your right foot in and place it next to your inner thigh. Open the knee to the side slightly to begin in order to bring your torso forward and your shoulder in front of your knee. From here, you can keep your arms out long by your sides, or if you want to bind, you can use a strap, or you can reach around and bind your hands. Right arm behind your leg, left arm behind your back. Wherever you are, find some length and fold as much as you can, keeping all of that length intact. Vinyasa A. Inhale, release the bind if you have it. Sit tall. Take your right leg, hold on to the bottom of your right foot with your left hand, and gently bring your foot slightly towards your chest. From here, wrap your left arm around so the foot is cradled in your elbow, and then your right arm so the knee is cradled in your elbow. Gently draw the foot towards your chest. Don't yank. Don't do anything that causes any sort of pain in your knee. From here, if you want, you can rock your little baby back and forth a little bit. Whatever feels good for your hip without causing any stress to your knee. Watch your back here. We have a tendency to round through the low back. Let our tailbone roll underneath. Sit up tall. Drawing chest towards shin, shin towards chest. Gently release. Hold on to the bottom of your right foot with your left hand, and then hold on to your right heel with your right hand. Gently pump your knee forward and back a few times, and then hold it in the back position. From here, your leg goes from being a baby to being a backpack. We're going to put the leg on our shoulder like we're putting on the strap of a backpack. So lift up the leg, shift it behind you, and put it over your shoulder. Place your right hand down. Try and bring your right hip all the way back down to the mat. Hold on across the top of your right foot. Stretch your right leg long as much as you can. And if you can, look under your left arm, compass pose. You can certainly use a strap here as well. Rebend your left leg. Reposition the leg on your shoulder if you want to. Bring the hip back down. Both hands down on the outside of your hips. Squeeze the leg into your shoulder. Take your left foot, cross it either over the top of the right, that'll be easier, or you can hold it underneath the right. That'll definitely be more challenging. From here, shift forward, try and lift your bum off the ground. That could be your astavakrasana. Or if you want to move forward, straighten your legs. And whether or not you can straighten your legs, bend your elbows like you're doing chaturanga. Astavakrasana, 8-angle pose. You can look down, you can look towards your feet. Straighten your arms, lift your hips, set them back down. Legs back out in front of you. Shake them out. And then let's do the other side. Right leg long, left leg. Bring your foot in towards your inner thigh. Open your knee to the side to allow some space for your torso to come through. Shoulder in front of knee. Arms can stay long out to the side, or if you'd like to bind, you can use a strap or just reach around with your arms and bind. Wherever you are, find some length and then fold, maintaining that length for Vinyasa A. Release the bind if you have it. Sit tall. Bring your left leg up. Gently bring your foot towards your chest. Then wrap your right arm around so the foot is in your elbow. Then the left arm around so the knee is in your elbow. Revisit your baby cradle. Now on the left side. Draw your foot, your shin towards your chest towards your shin, being careful of your knee. Don't twist at the knee. Move from the hip. Rock your baby back and forth if that feels good. Then carefully release. Hold on around the bottom of your left foot with your right hand. Hold on to your left ankle with your left hand. Carefully pump your knee forward and backward a few times, and then hold it in the back position. Your baby is now a backpack strap, so try and put on the strap of the backpack. Straighten your legs slightly. You may need to lift your hip. Shift the hip back. Place the leg on your left shoulder, left hand down. Try and lower your hip back down. Hold on around the top of your foot, and as much as you can, straighten your left leg. Look under your right shoulder. Again, you
can certainly use a strap to hold on to your foot instead. Compass pose. Carefully rebend your left leg. Reposition it on your shoulder if you'd like to. Then both hands down outside your hips. Squeeze the leg into your arm. Cross your right ankle. Place it over the left or under, whichever you prefer. Shift forward. Lift your bum. This could be your astavakrasana. Option 2, try to straighten your legs. Option 3, whether your legs are straight or not, bend your elbows like chaturanga. You can look straight down. You can look over at your feet. Then straighten your arms, lift your hips back up, and sit back down. Shake your legs out, and then come to lie on your back. Bring your feet in flat, close to your sit bones. Inhale, push into your heels, lift into bridge pose. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your hamstrings. Push your chest forward towards your chin. And then slowly lower back down. You can rock your knees from side to side for a moment if you'd like to. Inhale, and then exhale, push into your heels, lift your hips. If you want to interlace your fingers and walk your shoulders a little closer together in round 2 of bridge, go ahead. Find a little more space to draw your chest towards your chin. And then slowly lower back down. Final round. If you want, you can go up into wheel pose. Exhale, push into your heels. Do whatever version of bridge you'd like, or if you're going into wheel, hands by the outside of your shoulders. Push up and come into wheel. Urdhva Dhanurasana. Try and flatten your heels down and walk your feet, if you want to, a little closer to your hands. Push your chest through your arms. Push down strongly through your hands. Straighten your arms. Squeeze your glutes. Find space and strength through your back. And then carefully lower back down. Draw both knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. Lower your left leg straight down. point your right foot straight up. Open your arms to a T. And slowly and carefully bring your right foot down towards your left for a nice twist and stretch through your right IT band. If you prefer a different recline twist, you can go ahead and take that variation. Bring your right leg back up. Lower your right leg down, long. Lift your left leg straight up and carefully bring it over to your right. For a twist and IT band stretch on the left. Bring your left leg back up. Bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug one more time. And then release. If you want to do one more pose before you enter Shavasana, go ahead. Otherwise, stretch your legs long to the edge of your mat. Arms by your side, palms facing up. Shoulders underneath you. Close your eyes. Let your breath return to its normal automatic pattern. Relax the pursing of your lips and the clenching of your jaw. Release the tension from your shoulders and the gripping of your fingers. Let your feet fall open. Let your thoughts, your worries, your anxieties just fall away as you melt into your mat. I invite you to stay here for as long as you'd like, for as long as you're able. If you're ready to move on with me, stretch your legs long, stretch your arms long, and then carefully roll over onto one side. From here, find your way into a comfortable seated position. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Thank you for practicing with me today.